A few months ago, I stumbled onto a disturbing truth. I was wasting the most valuable resource God ever gave me, and the worst part? I had no idea. I thought I was busy, productive, moving in the right direction. But the reality was, I was just busy. There's a brutal difference between being busy and actually thriving. And that made me stop and ask myself, why do some people accomplish in 1 year what takes others 10 years to achieve? I'm not talking about luck. I'm not talking about privilege. I'm talking about a discovery that completely changed how I understood perspective, time, purpose, and prosperity. Napoleon Hill studied the most successful people of his time, and through his research, he discovered something crucial. Prosperity isn't an accident. It follows principles. And when you discover these principles and apply them with focus, you can accelerate your journey in ways that almost seem supernatural. But here's the secret most people miss. It's not about working harder. It's about completely transforming how you think, feel, and act when it comes to your time and purpose. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share 3 discoveries that can help you thrive 10 times faster. These aren't shortcuts or hacks. These are biblical principles combined with proven wisdom that, when applied, produce extraordinary results. And believe me, very few people actually know these principles, and even fewer are ready to commit to them. Let's start with some simple math that's going to reveal something shocking about your life. You've got 8,260 hours in a year. Let's be generous and say you sleep 8 hours a day. That leaves you with 5,140 waking hours, almost 6,000 hours, 6,000 opportunities to build something extraordinary. But here's the question Napoleon Hill used to ask people: what are you actually doing with those hours? Most people say, I don't have time for anything. Wait, you don't have time for anything in 5,040 hours. That's not a time problem, that's a choice problem, that's an awareness problem. In Ephesians 5:15, Paul warns us, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. The Greek word for making the most literally means buying back the time, redeeming it, rescuing every moment from meaninglessness. Let me show you where your time is leaking. The commute thief. There are people spending 3 hours a day in traffic. That's 1,095 hours a year. 1,000 hours. You know what you could do with 1,000 hours? You could completely master a new skill. You could build a side business. You could transform your physical and mental health. Napoleon Hill said it best. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. So why are you treating your time like it's disposable? The decision might be radical. Either change jobs to something closer to home or move closer to your work. Sounds extreme? Not when you understand that every hour is a seed that produces an eternal harvest. The brain pharmacy. Here's something few people understand. Your brain has a natural pharmacy, and you're the pharmacist. You decide which chemicals get released. Dopamine, released through novelty, learning, progress. Oxytocin, released through meaningful connections, love, community. Endorphins, released through physical exercise, overcoming challenges. When you dedicate time to exercise your body, you're not just improving your health, you're producing the chemical fuel your brain needs for clarity, focus, and perseverance. Proverbs 4:23 warns us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Your heart here represents your mind, your emotions, your inner state. When you take care of this internal pharmacy, you're obeying a principle of stewardship. Now here's the part that could change everything for you. What if you took 1 year, just 12 months, and dedicated it completely to your transformation? Not halfway, not when you feel like it, completely. Napoleon Hill called this definite purpose, the difference between vague desire and specific determination. He noticed that every extraordinary person he studied had this in common. They chose a singular focus and committed to it completely. This isn't a new concept, it's biblical. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness in intensive preparation before starting his ministry. Moses spent 40 years in the desert being transformed from prince to liberator. Paul spent 3 years in Arabia being reformed from persecutor to apostle. The chemistry of transformation. When you dedicate yourself intensely for a specific period, something remarkable happens on 3 levels. 1. Renewal of the mind. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." You don't transform your mind by watching a motivational talk. You transform it through consistent immersion, intentional repetition, deliberate practice. 2. Purification of the heart. Proverbs 4:23 again. You're literally reprogramming your desires, your emotional reactions, your deep-seated habits. This doesn't happen over a weekend. It happens when you choose, day after day, month after month, to feed what's good and starve what's destructive. 3. Strengthening of the spirit. Daniel 10:1 shows that consistent spiritual discipline literally changes the spiritual reality around you. Extended fasting, disciplined prayer, systematic study of the Word. This isn't empty religion. These are spiritual technologies that produce measurable results. The practical strategy. Here's how an intensive year of transformation works. Months 1 through 3, demolition and foundation. This is the period of clearing the ground. You start by removing everything from your day that slows you down and brings no return. Hours scrolling on your phone, negative conversations, friendships that only drag you down. Create simple but solid routines. Wake up at the same time, do 20 minutes of exercise at home, study a little before or after work, practice something that makes you grow. And if necessary, distance yourself from people who only complain, mock your dreams, or constantly fill you with doubt. The Bible already warned us in Proverbs 13:20, "Walk with the wise and become wise." Months 4 through 6, accelerated construction. By now, you're more organized and prepared. It's time to choose one thing to improve, not 10. For example, learn a new skill to earn more, improve your performance at work, start a course, train for a side profession. Napoleon Hill called this total focus. Instead of spreading your energy across everything, you channel it all into one goal. When you do this, results start showing up faster because you're no longer starting from scratch every single day. Months 7 through 9, multiplication. This is when you start to reap. What you've learned, you begin teaching to someone else, a co-worker, your kid, a friend. And then something powerful happens. Opportunities start appearing. Sometimes it's a boss who notices your growth, a client who shows up unexpectedly, someone who offers a partnership. Matthew 25:29 confirms it. To those who have, more will be given. Months 10 through 12, consolidation and planning. After nearly a year, you look back and realize you've become a different person. Your routine has changed, your mind has changed, your habits have changed. Now it's time to organize everything you've learned and decide on the next level. Earn more, spend more time with family, build something of your own. You no longer just have hope. You have proof that it works, and that gives you strength to keep going. Napoleon Hill discovered something simple but powerful. The most successful people don't just trust in faith, they trust in facts, in the track record of what they've already done. They build a habit, they promise themselves something, and they deliver. They say they're going to do it, and they do it. That's how their brain learns to trust them. When you say, "I'm going to wake up 20 minutes earlier," and you actually do it, your brain registers that. When you do it for weeks, it stops doubting you. It understands that your word carries weight. This creates a different kind of confidence. Confidence that comes from practice, not just positive thinking. The 3 levels of confidence. 1. Religious faith. That's faith in God, in Christ, in His promises of protection and guidance. It's the foundation of everything. 2. Personal faith. That's believing God gave you strength, intelligence, ability. It's understanding that He does His part, but you have to do yours. Pray, yes, but also work, study, improve, act. 3. Proven faith. That's when you have a track record of small wins. You say you're going to save $50, and you do. You promise to walk 15 minutes after work, and you follow through. You decide to study for half an hour at night, and you study. Over time, your brain looks at all that and says, they deliver, they can do it. They've got this. And that's when your confidence truly changes. Simple example, think of an ordinary person. Works all day, comes home exhausted, takes care of the house, the kids. Training for a long-distance run would normally take months, but what if that person applied the principle of intelligent effort in just 15 days? Instead of training for hours and hours, they'd do this: achievable immersion, 20, 30 minutes a day, every day. Accelerated learning, watch short videos, follow practical tips. Deliberate practice, each workout with a focus. Today, breathing. Tomorrow, speed. Next, endurance. Firm mindset. I always do what I say. The result? In a short time, they don't become a professional athlete, but they can run a distance they never imagined possible. Why? Because they use the power of concentrated discipline, not magic. The principle is simple. When you do what you say, God honors you. Your brain trusts you. And life starts moving forward. If you want to thrive a lot faster, there are 3 pillars anyone can apply, even with limited time. Pillar 1, ruthless time management. You've got an average of 5,240 waking hours per year. That's all you have to work, care for your family, rest, and grow. This pillar is about stopping the waste of those hours. Eliminate time leaks, time spent scrolling your phone, watching pointless arguments, hanging around people who only complain. All of that steals your life. Stay close to what matters. If you want to study, keep your notebook nearby. If you want to work out, keep your sneakers in sight. If you want to save money, don't walk past temptation. Treat every hour like an investment. Ask yourself, does this move me closer to the life I want or farther away? A wasted hour, you never get it back. Pillar 2, integral transformation. To truly thrive, you need to grow as a whole person, not just in money. Change in the mind. Study a little every day. Could be 15 minutes before bed. What matters is consistency. Change in the body. Exercise isn't about looks, it's about energy. A 20-minute walk every day changes your mood, your focus, even your discipline. Change in the spirit. Have your moments with God. A 5-minute prayer, a Bible reading, worship. Consistency beats intensity. Change in emotions. Avoid people who drag you down. Get close to people who genuinely care about you, who encourage you, who help you keep your head straight. Proverbs 24:27 teaches, put your outdoor work in order and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. In other words, foundation first, everything else after. Pillar 3, faith fortified by action. A lot of people believe, but they don't act. And faith without action just becomes wishful thinking. Stop just believing. Start proving it. Promise to wake up earlier? Do it. Promise to read a few pages, read them, build a track record of small wins. Your brain needs to see that you follow through on what you say. That's what creates real confidence. Create evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you create a mental record that says, I can do this. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But notice, it's I can, I do, I act. Not I wait for it to fall from the sky. God strengthens those who move. So here's the raw truth. You've got 860 hours this year. Most people are going to waste the majority of them. They'll be busy, but not productive. They'll have faith, but no action. They'll want change, but won't pay the price. And a year from now, they'll be exactly where they are today, maybe even more frustrated because another year is gone. But you don't have to be most people. You can be the exception. Napoleon Hill discovered that the difference between extraordinary people and ordinary people wasn't talent, luck, or connections. It was decision, followed by disciplined action. Here's your challenge. Choose the next 12 months to disappear, not literally, but socially. Cut the distractions. Eliminate the time leaks. Dedicate yourself completely to your transformation. Reform your mind through systematic study. Strengthen your body through physical discipline. Purify your heart through healthy relationships. Deepen your spirit through consistent spiritual practices. And a year from now, you'll look back and won't even recognize the person you were. You'll have accomplished in 12 months what would have taken 10 years on the common path. The question isn't whether this works. It works. It's proven biblically. It's proven by Napoleon Hill. It's proven by every single person who's ever applied these principles. The question is, are you going to do it, or are you going to be one more person who watches this video, nods along, feels a little inspired, and changes absolutely nothing? Time is passing right now. While you're finishing watching this, you've already lost a few minutes. The question is, did those minutes move you closer to your vision or farther away from it? Decide now. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Now. Grab a piece of paper and write, "In the next 12 months I will," and fill in your specific goal. Then eliminate one distraction today. Just one. Cancel something that wastes your time. Get physically closer to your priority. Work out tomorrow morning without fail, because that's how it starts. Not with some big event, but with one decision followed by one action, and then another and another. Until one day you wake up and realize you've become someone completely different. Someone who thrives, someone who lives with purpose, someone who doesn't waste the most precious gift God ever gave: time. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Go and thrive. God bless you.